Have you ever been a little bit hesitant or maybe afraid, had a little bit of fear of calling a seller and asking them for a price reduction? I know I have myself. Even today, if I have to ask people for price reductions, I get a little bit of anxiety, and I've got quite a bit of experience with doing this. But it really comes from knowing that no seller really wants to hear that they need to reduce their price. So I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the art of the price reduction. I've taken some good notes here. I'm going to share it with you. And I think if you'll stick with me here for a couple minutes, you're going to find tremendous value in this discussion. See, price reductions are a must. It's just a critical part of our business. There's really no way to avoid it if you work with sellers at any level. I mean, let's face it, we use our knowledge and our experience in the beginning to price properties appropriately, and sometimes they still don't sell. So as a real estate agent, I don't want to be that agent that's just constantly beating up a seller on their price week after week. I want to get my sellers top dollars, and I'm sure you want to do the same. But we still find ourselves in situations where we must ask for reductions because the market is dictating it. The market is demanding it. Now, how does the market demand it? How do we know it needs a price reduction? When you're getting showings, a lot of showings and no offers, it needs to be reduced. It just means that the agents see enough value in the property that they're going to bring the buyers to it. But when the buyers look at it and compare it to the other properties that they're viewing, then they feel like there's better value elsewhere. That's why they're not making an offer on our property. Or if we're getting no showings, then that means agents and buyers, they don't see the value. And so therefore, they're not taking the time to come in and look inside. So when it comes to the point where we determine that, wow, we need to have a price adjustment here, then the agent tends to have a dilemma, and that is the confusion of where do I reduce it? What price is going to work? What do I tell my seller? So the answer is this: reduce it to where it needs to be to attract enough demand for it to sell. Let me say that again. Reduce it to where it needs to be to attract enough demand for it to sell. So if you have something priced at $309,900 and it's not selling, where should it be reduced? Well, let's assume you do the research and the comparables say, well, it's really worth $302,000. So at that point, you've got it priced at $309,900, but the data says it's really worth $302,000. Most agents would immediately tell the seller to adjust the price to $302,000 right then. And it kind of makes sense because that's what the data says. But that reduction will not help you sell this property. Let me tell you why. Because the point in a reduction is not to lower the price. The point in the reduction is to increase the demand. So when people are searching for property, they enter a price range in the computer and they list, and a list of properties appear. They go into their search bar or type in, I want to see property at this price or below, and then an entire list appears, right? We all know how that works. So if someone's looking at properties up to $300,000, then they only see those listings that are priced at $300,000 or below. If you have a listing at $309,000, then those searching for $300,000 or below will never see the property because it won't show up on the sheet in the search results. When you reduce that property to $302,000, the people searching at $300,000 and below still won't see that property because it's not $300,000 and below. So it won't show up on their search results. The only people that see the property at $302,000 are the same people that already saw it at $309,000. So that reduction would not have created more demand. It would have exposed it to the same people that already saw it. So yes, they would have seen that it was reduced, but you're not creating any more demand. You're just showing it once again to the same level of demand, the same buyers. It's the same eyeballs. No more eyeballs are seeing it because of that reduction. So here's another thought. You want to break through price thresholds. This is key. $299,900 exposes the property to the buyers at $300,000 and below. $302,000 exposes it to those looking at, let's say, $325,000 and below. $309,000 exposes it to the same group that are looking at $325,000 and below. So in terms of demand, The only reduction that creates more demand is the one that broke through the $300,000 price threshold. Now, thresholds are the price levels that people search. You don't see a buyer typing in the search and they want to see properties at $303,000 and below. They would either put in $325,000 or $299,900, or let's just say, or $300,000. See, they put them in kind of like round numbers. So a reduction from 309 to 306 to 307 to 303 to 302 is insignificant. You won't actually show up on any additional list. Therefore, you won't get any additional eyeballs on the property. So here's the good news. The more aggressive a seller is priced, the more firm they can hold in the negotiations. The seller will typically sell at or near the same price using either strategy, meaning at $302,000, it ends up selling at $297,000. At $299,900, it ends up selling at $297,000. The only difference is $299,900 got it sold faster. Price reductions don't necessarily get the seller less. They get the seller the same. They just get the seller the same, but they get it faster. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Price reductions are critical in any time the economy or the markets are starting to soften. Some people say the markets are starting to soften right now, so I think we need to sharpen our skills. We need to understand and internalize the art of the price reduction. If you have any questions, please just shoot me an email, Facebook Messenger, text, give me a call. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.